It's interesting you say that because what I was going to ask you is, and I think everyone will agree, film people, actors, have this sort of tendency to feel that they're changing the world. I mean that they're sort of the most important beings at the center of the universe. Did it make you feel? I mean, does doing films based on real people? I mean, Toilet was based on characters that really existed. Other films you've done. Humbled is actually the word that you use. Does it sort of make you feel, sort of recognize one's place in the world and kind of recognize where, as actors or just as normal, regular people, perhaps how small a place we occupy, whereas there are real heroes doing real things?
Oh, absolutely. We are not the real heroes. That's why calling myself a female hero or a heroine is something that really, really troubles me. But the fact that I get an opportunity to portray these real heroes on the big screen is something that I'm very, very grateful of. And you're absolutely right. I feel like as actors, we feel like the world revolves around us and we know we are God's gift to humanity, but we are not. And I feel that's the change that my generation has seen. When I see myself or my colleagues, I'm like, okay, this is the way to lead. I think what we need to be is we need to be good role models. We need to be a good role model to the future generations to come, and we need to be agents of change. Right? The change is not happening only because of me. I want to be a part of a larger solution. And that's the only way you can be humble and you can be grounded. I think you kind of pick your battles. There are some films that I do for myself. There are some films that I do for myself, but also for the love of the business. Like for example, when I did Sonchiriya was off cinemas in 6 days. It was maybe my first heartbreak because every film of mine was a blockbuster before that. I had a series of 4 films and they all were like, whatever. They did incredible numbers. They traveled really well. I was like on an all-time high. And then came Sonchiriya, a film I was so attached to because I gave that film 8 months of my life and I was like, this is it. This film is really gonna be one of those that has like good content, etc., etc. But the film was off cinemas in 6 days and it really broke my heart. But the film still lives on. When people speak of my filmography, they speak of a Dam Laga Ke Haisha, and the next film that they speak of is a Sonchiriya. There are so many filmmakers that have given me work because they loved my work in Sonchiriya. So maybe it did not find a larger audience, but the film did find an audience. So I feel that was a very big learning for me. But by the end of it, honestly, when I'm reading a script, I don't know what works, what doesn't work. Yes, I'm aware of what the environment globally is. So I know like, okay, there might not be a lot of takers, but you always have that little hope that, you don't know what might change. Because, for example, for Dam Laga Ke Haisha, right? On paper, nobody could imagine a film like Dam Laga Ke Haisha working. Because on paper, the male lead, is not macho at all. There was nothing heroic about what Ayushmann was doing in the film. And I wasn't a conventional heroine. But the film broke barriers. So, you always hope that it works. But, as I said, Rajiv, by the end of it, I want to leave behind a legacy of good work. I want to leave behind films and characters and performances that can be watched through generations. I want to live on through my cinema.